Good day, good afternoon, guys. It has been a wild week in the news. From uh, in Minnesota, a woman was murdered by ICE. I heard what our current administration said. I heard what our current president said that apparently they were accusing this woman of running over the ICE agent, and that's why he had to shoot her 3 times in the face and kill her. Well, I have watched that video from so many angles, and I didn't see any of that. What I saw was a person kind of fleeing, turning her wheel to get out of there because she looks like she was parked in an odd way. I heard two witnesses were saying that she was in the bike lane, and she was like an observer, and since ICE is in their town, they have people who blow whistles to just give people warning that ICE is in the area. But that woman was murdered because he didn't have to shoot his gun in her face 3 times. That means you want this person dead. At first I thought maybe it was a person from the minority group, maybe a brown black person, because I wouldn't be surprised because they do that stuff like that been happening to minority groups for years and no one believe us. So um I thought that's probably why she was shot. Then the accusation's been coming out, oh, she's lesbian, she's this, she wears the pride flag proudly. I don't really care what group you're from. That woman did not need to be killed that way. I would say maybe he saw her flag in her car and that set him off. I mean, if he wanted to stop her from fleeing, he could have shot the tires of the car, deflate them. But in her face, that means you intend on killing her. So now the current administration doesn't want the local Minnesota officials to investigate. So it looks like a big cover up. The mayor in Minnesota, all the local officials, they're upset. The people are upset. They've been protesting. When this first started, I understand, okay, you're trying to pick up illegal immigrants who are not to be here, didn't come here legally, didn't process all the paperwork. Okay, got that. But now you're like messing with U.S. citizens, people of your own kind. That's not minority. She was a white woman. So I was listening to two podcasters that I usually listen to, and they were up there apologizing to black people, saying, "Hey, you've been trying to tell us this has been happening for years. We didn't believe you. We apologize. We see now. Now it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter if you are illegal immigrant, if you are a legal immigrant, if you are a U.S. citizen. What's to stop them from blowing out your brains because maybe you mouth off to them, maybe you stood up to them, you blew your whistle at them, you're warning other people that they're in the area. It has gone left real quick, and people are scared. But I used to hear people say, oh, there's going to be a civil war, and it's going to be the people against the government, because there are parts in the U.S. that our U.S. citizens all have guns and are open carry, and you trigger them. They don't care who you are. You shooting at them, they're going to shoot at you. So it's going to turn into a wild, wild west. I'm just saying, there's some part of the U.S. people don't play about their freedom, and they just have not run into the right set of people yet. But oh my God, it's crazy. And then, it's just a wild week in the news. It's like our government is becoming a little, it's like dictatorship, and that's the direction they want to go into. And people are are afraid or losing their freedom, and it doesn't matter what color you are, and also um, the common folks, if you're not billionaires and you don't have these titles, and then it's so easy for them to lie. They lie, and then they want to say they're Christians and stuff like that afterward. Okay, you guys are not paying attention to the 10 commandments. Okay, thou shalt not kill. You have murdered somebody. And I don't, they talk so badly of this woman, and they don't even know this woman. They don't know her family. They don't know her beliefs. They don't know nothing about this woman, but yet they're up there, slandering her name. And it's sad. I hear some of the local official talk with so much emotion in their voice. And you're like, oh, I can't believe is this America? I'm like, not the America that we knew. Okay. And then, the kidnapping of, well, that's what Mandora said, he was kidnapped. And a lot of people said he was kidnapped. I know nothing about this man. I don't know how evil he was. I'm sure if you speak to some Venezuelan, they think he's evil. I don't know this man personally. I really don't know. But the way it was done, and the United Nations, they had like an emergency meeting, and the tactics that the U.S. is using, not even Russia and China had anything good to say, and a lot of the other countries. And now, our President Trump is threatening Greenland because he wants Greenland. I don't even think Greenland has an army, but I do think they're backed by Denmark, and Denmark is hopping mad. And I hear they saying we'll shoot first and ask question later. I hear Canada is prepared for war if U.S. try them. I hear Trump threatening Colombia, Mexico, and I'm like, well, how big do he think our army is? And then when I saw did y'all see the parade compared to the military parade of the U.S. and the military parade of the China? Our military parade was laughable. And I was so impressed by China because I'm like, oh my God, everybody's fit. Did you see how high they were kicking their legs? And then we saw our military, and some of them looked like tired and out of shape, and it wasn't as organized, and all of that. And I'm like, okay, y'all want to try everybody else military out there in the world? You all are spreading us thin. Okay. Mandora said he was kidnapped. Okay, another commandment, since they call themselves Christian, is thou shalt not steal. Kidnapping is a form of stealing. You're taking something from somebody. You're taking their freedom away. You're taking oil that the country, it doesn't belong to you. That's a form of stealing. You're seizing ships and with oil going to Iran or Russia. That's a form of stealing. But your first accusation was that Venezuela was drug trafficking. Okay, monitor your waters, but why are we in their country? And what's to stop other countries like, well, the U.S. is doing it. We can go in on the U.S. and do the same thing. And, and everybody, okay. I heard what the vice president said about that woman that was murdered, which is awful. And he doesn't even know the woman. And I was saying, so many people are mad with Trump and fear him being the president. But could you imagine if something happened to Trump and J.D. Vance took his spot? I think he'd be far worse. So which is the lesser of the two evils? I'm just saying. But so much is going on, and it's so sad, y'all. And, I feel like Congress has no power. I mean, they can vote all they want, but the current administration is going in and doing what they want. They're covering up the ICE murder because they don't want a local official to investigate. You got some video that we don't have, because I've watched that video of that woman being killed. you know, um, like I'm saying, that the American people, there some I've heard, guys, that this could start a civil war against the American people and the government. And some people do not fear losing their lives. What would you call those kind of people? Freedom fighters? Just like the military go in and sign up to fight for the country, knowing that they may lose their life fighting for the country. There are people out there who don't care who you are, and they will take on ICE people because they haven't been to the areas where there's gangs and you don't even know there are gangs, and they blow you out of the water. They don't care who you are. They just have not gone into the areas that they'll meet up on the wrong people. But it's a sad situation, and I wonder if we'll ever get back to the way we were prior to all of this mayhem. Y'all just pray for the U.S. Pray for the common folks in the U.S. because a lot of us feeling like we don't have any power. We're just sitting here watching it all play out. Just play out in front of our eyes. Well, that's all, folks, for me today. If you like what I share, just subscribe, like. I'll be back at it again. You all have a good day. Thanks.